Yo. So, we recently had a poll on TikTok on picking Duraludon or Glaceon VMAX. And I was playing Duraludon, but then I started playing two versions of Duraludon. So, I'm going to split this video into two videos. This one will be a quicker analysis because I feel like in this meta, it can work in situations, but it's only basically attacking a certain deck. So that being said, this isn't, for like, oh, I'm just going to play this because this is the only version I'm going to play. This is more of a tech version for certain decks like Single Strike and Rapid Strike. And this is why this is going to be a quick video on this deck profile. And my next video will be on the Metal Box version that is more all around against other decks. With that being said, let's get to the video. Yo guys, what's up? And today we're going to be talking about Duraludon VMAX with this current deck list. So like I said, I have two deck lists, and this is one of the main ones I wanted to play because it's based on Azul GG's Gengar deck with Inteleon. And so, Duraludon VMAX is our main attacker with the Skyscraper ability. It prevents all damage done to Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have special energies attached. And for 1 fighting and 2 metal, you do G-Max Pulverization for 220. And if you have a single strike energy for that fighting requirement, it'll do 240. And now the cool thing about this attack is stuff like Decidueye, Mew VMAX, another Duraludon, Glaceon. This attack goes straight through it. It's kind of like single strike Urshifu VMAX's attack. G-Max 1 blow doesn't go through anything. So that's what makes this card really good. Of course, with single strike, you always have your single strike Pokemon, Houndoom, with single strike Roar, allows you to get single strike energy from your deck and put it onto one of your Pokemon. The only downside is you take 20 damage. But it's really good because if you start off with the Duraludon V, put a metal energy, next turn you can single strike Roar and then get a metal energy and then complete the energy cost for that attack and start attacking. Another thing is we have a single strike Urshifu V. Now, for this deck, we have extra single strike energies, and when we go against stuff like Jolteon, Dracozolt, anything that can be knocked out with a V with the least amount of energy cost, this is probably going to be what we'll be using, because Impact Blow is so strong that if you put the 2 single strike energies you need for this in a metal energy, you'll be doing 220, and it's only worth 2 prizes. So you already do more damage than the VMAX with Duraludon, with only the price of 2 prizes when you get returned KO'd. And another thing we're going to talk about Duraludon V is that for a metal and a fighting energy, or a single strike energy in this case, you're doing 90 damage. That knocks out Drizzile. That knocks out like anything that can be searched out with the Level Ball. So that's why that attack is really good. And the energy cost isn't too crazy. If you can put a metal energy and then next turn put a single strike energy, you're already doing it. So it's pretty good. And even some cases, like I know you saw the video on TikTok, if you're going first, you can literally get a breaking swipe turn 2. That requires 1 fighting and 2 metal energies, which is the same requirement for your VMAX. And breaking swipe with a single strike does 160, and you take 30 less damage next turn. But that's if you don't evolve. So that's another thing to think about. And here we have your Sobble, your 4-4-3 line, because we're only playing 3 Inteleons. You got your Rapid Strike Sobble. You got your Shady Dealings Drizzile. If y'all don't know, Shady Dealings allows you to look for a trainer card out of your deck and put it in your hand. And then we do a 2-1 split with Shady Dealings Inteleon and Quick Shooting Inteleon. That allows you to put 2 damage counters on any Pokemon. This is going to do the extra damage we need to start knocking out VMAXs. We run a standard 4-4 Quick Ball, Level Ball. If you guys know from my previous videos, if I'm running Inteleon line, I'm running 4 Level Balls, 4 Quick Balls. Not only is it important to get your Sobbles out, it's very important to get your Duraludon out as soon as possible. If you can get it out on your opening hand, that's the best scenario for this deck. Level Balls allows you to get your Sobbles, your Drizziles, and your Houndours. So it's always important to get 2 Sobbles and 1 Houndour out with your Duraludon. That is the perfect ideal start. We run 3 Evolution Incense. I would I was thinking about running 4, but in this case, you always get what you need because there's so much consistency going on. So 3 is fine. So your 4-4-3 Level Ball, Quick Ball, Evolution Incense is probably the best way you can probably build this. We run 1 energy switch because in the case where we don't have Houndooms but we have the metal energies, you can energy switch for fighting energy. We run 2 switches. We're not running air balloons. We're not going to get attacked by tool jammers or tool scrappers. If we need to switch, we'll switch, but more likely you're not going to be switching. We run 1 Urn of Vitality. Like I said, single strikes aren't that important in this deck. Single strikes just allow us to do the extra damage, and it covers our fighting cost, and it's easily searchable and accelerated by Houndoom. So that's why we run 4, just for the sake of 4, but we only really need 1. Our stadium of choice is going to be Crystal Cave. Now, Crystal Cave is interesting because Duraludon is a dragon Pokemon, and we can use this to our advantage because for once per turn, you can actually heal 30 damage off your Steel Pokemon and your Dragon Pokemon. With that being said, when you do Houndoom's single strike ability, you take 20 damage for every single strike energy that you take. Well, with that, you can actually get rid of that damage. Therefore, it gets rid of the cost of doing it. So, it's pretty much accelerating energies for free at this point. And that's what I like about it. We run 2 bosses orders because we want to knock out V Pokemon that are key to our opponent. We'll be doing 240, so that means we knock out even Zacian at that point. We can probably knock out every V in the game. And that's what's so strong about Duraludon VMAX. Because you can even boss up a Zamazenta, which has the shield ability, and knock it out. And your opponent doesn't know what to do. So that's really cool about it. We're running 3 Marnie and 3 Professor's Research. Is just to go to our hand. Like, let's say we shady dealings and we don't have anything, we can Professor's Research to get a bigger hand. Or if our opponent has a card that he put in his hand, we can just Marnie it to the bottom of the deck and then keep going with our consistency. We run 1 Raihan for the metal energies. A trick I like to do is put a metal energy on Sobble because I know Sobble's going to get knocked out. We can put that metal energy into our discard pile, Raihan, put the metal energy on Duraludon, search for another metal energy, and then single strike forward to fulfill our attack cost. And in some situations where Duraludon is really hard to get his energy cost ready, scroll a Scorn. For 1 fight energy, you do whatever damage counter is on you plus 10 damage, plus the additional 20 damage from the single strike energy. So without filling up that attack cost of 1 fighting and 2 metal, you could literally for 1 single strike energy do a lot of damage because you'd be taking hits. Now that's if they don't run special energies, because this deck is meant for decks that run special energies so you don't take damage. But this is that bridge in between where like, oh, they're starting to beat you up because they figured out your secret. You play this down and you return the damage that they've done to you. And our energy count is 4 single strike energies, 1 fight energy, because like I said, single strikes are good, but in the case where we're going against Fan of Wave so much, you might want to run 1 fight energy and then 2 metal energies to get that cost. Yes, it might take longer to do, but if your opponent has no outs to it and only runs special energies, you practically won the game at that point. And then 5 metal energies. So our energy count is 10 energies, 28 trainers, and 22 Pokemon. You see our trainer count is very consistent, and it's easily brought out with Inteleon and Drizzile. Our main attacker is Duraludon, and because of the Skyscraper ability, we're going to be targeting decks that use special energies. So let's see if we can go find some. Alright, we're going to call it coin flip. Sorry about that. Tails. And we won the coin flip, so we're going to be going first. Not too bad. And we're going to start off with a Sobble. Because we are running 4-4-3. And I really don't want to give up a Houndour, especially since I have a metal energy in my hand. Cool. Get rid of Professor's Research. Grab a Duraludon V. Put that down. Put a metal energy. And we'll end our turn like that. That's actually a really good first turn. Because we do have the Metal Energy. We can get a Professor's Research, hopefully to some outs. We are playing against Umbreon, so that's a little scary. Hopefully we can hurry up and get to our Duraludon VMAX. Gengar, okay. Let's the cool thing is if they play Tower of Darkness, we do have single strike cards to use. Oh, the misplayed jail. How are you gonna capture energy a Crobat? Oh my god. Alright, cool. Like I said, we can use the Tower of Darkness too. Like, they marnied us into a pretty terrible hand. And so we were on track for a good start. But now it's not looking so good. And now they just filled up their bench with no actual... Because that Crobat, it put them back a little bit. And it's our turn because they couldn't make any moves. Oh, cool. Metal Energy. Scroll Scorn, but we can't even still play that. We'll keep the Tower of Darkness. Because if we don't get anything good in our next hand, I'm going to have to throw away Scroll Scorns. Yeah. Evolution Incense. Houndoom. Single Strike Roar. Switch. Mean look. 50 does knock us out, so that's good. There's a Duraludon VMAX. So I'll play that. Tower Darkness away the scroll. There's a Houndoom. Since we essentially got everything we need at this point, we'll rush that. And then we'll Crystal Cave. Heal it off. And then we'll end our turn. Since they only have special energies, they can't do any damage to us. The only thing I regret is not having an energy in our discard pile, because then I could use Raihan. Side note we like to talk about is how they keep softening their Pokemon up, and this is why it's such a good matchup against Duraludon, because we can do so much damage. 240, and they just keep bringing the Pokemon under 200, so that's why I like going against these guys. And they do Mean Look for the knockout. There we go. Evolution Incense. Okay, clutch. We'll get Drizzile. We'll evolve Drizzile. What do we look for? Maybe a Marnie to shake things up. We'll play Marnie. I didn't use Houndoom because there's no point in taking extra damage, right? The probability of us getting another single strike energy was pretty high, and as you see, we actually got one. And G-Max pulverization for knockout. Hopefully we get something good off of this. Another Duraludon. Yep, that's what I like to see. And a Metal Energy. Perfect. So we have the boss's orders because we're going to get rid of the Urshifu as soon as possible. The one thing about online is you can't see your opponent's deck list. So always make the assumption that they have something that will knock you out. In this case, we were scared of Urshifu VMAX. Vitality Band. Okay. Single Strike Roar. Guys, this is what happens when you don't read the cards. Just watch. Oh. Who's gonna knock out? Oh, not the... What? So guys, at this point, I don't have to play anything else. Again, this is what happens when you don't read the cards. I made the assumption that he was going to do enough damage to knock me out, but he didn't. So now I got stuck to the point where, well, I'm stuck in the active. I don't have any way to get out. So the only thing I could do is start building up another Duraludon. In this case, we put the Metal Energy and the Single Strike Energy, and we held that damage off. So in this case, we're looking pretty good. And we want to do the same thing with them, and we wanted to get them stuck in the active. And this is why we bossed up the Crobat. That's it. So we sit here with our opponent, and it looks like they're going to accelerate an energy. Again, they keep softening up our opponent's Pokemon. So by the time we go to attack, we're going to be knocking them out. This Gengar literally has 3 Single Strike Energies. And unless he bosses up my Duraludon, what's going to happen? Nothing. Switch. Okay. Bruno. Alright, no bosses. Okay, I like that. We gotta be careful for that Urshifu. Hiding, that's a special energy. Knock me out. He's not knocking me out. Okay, smart, smart. Get rid of Professor's research. And one thing I want to talk about is overbitching. It's actually really possible to avoid all this damage with Pokemon that have special energies, but at the same time, they can literally work around you and knock out all your basic Pokemon. And just make sure if you have 2 Duraludons that the extra amount of Pokemon that you have on the bench doesn't equal to 6 prizes, because you can lose that way. Yes, we're going to look for 2 trainer cards, preferably something to switch us out. And Evolution Incense? Cool. So we're going to switch with this. And GMAX Pulverization for 240. 1, 2. And that's a game. Because you can't do anything in the meta where everyone, especially Single Strike, just runs special energies. So, there you go. That's actually ideal because you want to lock your opponents. And even if they were to start knocking everything out, you have Houndoom, Inteleon, and Drizzile, which are only worth 3 prizes. So, and then they knocked out themselves. That's 4 prizes total. They couldn't knock out my other. So you could actually lock them at 4 prizes, so they wouldn't win no matter what. No, the only thing to worry about when you play this deck against Single Strike is you got Single Strike Urshifu VMAX that can actually go through your ability. There you have it, folks. We got our win against Single Strike Gengar. And I just wanted to be honest with this, that this deck is really strong only against Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and sometimes Fusion Strike. What you need to be careful about is decks that tech towards this. Skyscraper is an ability, and abilities can be locked out by Path to the Peak. And there's some other cards too, like Phoebe. Phoebe can go through it. So just keep that in mind, that this is a good card against Pokemons that use special energies. But at the same time, this is a strategy card game, so people will tech for you in specific. But when they don't, it's easy win. This deck is pretty fun. you just need to be careful. This is definitely not for beginners because the amount of knowledge that you need to know about your meta. And this is why there's another deck that we're going to be playing, which is the Metal Box, which includes attackers like Zacian that allow beginners to kind of know how to sequence better and kind of know how to prepare against other Pokemon when they're playing matches. So again, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you understand your meta and know what you're going against, definitely try this out. If you're a beginner, please hold on. I will be coming out with a meta, like a metal box that will allow you to, you know, play your favorite Pokemon and have fun with it. Again, thank you for liking, subscribing. Make sure to check my bio for all my social media. And again, just have fun. It's a fun game. Thanks for watching, guys.